trying to catch water from dry lands. Every touch slip right through, fingers aching, still reaching for you. Oh, the strings are broken, the song won't play, melody's gone, took my heart away. Broken strings, broken wings, can't fly, can't sing, just this pain it brings. Your kiss was a fire, now it's just ash, burned so bright, but it faded so fast. I'm a blues note hanging in the air, lonely and lost, floating nowhere. Was it me? Was it time? Was it fate drawing the line? Oh, the strings are broken, the song won't play, melody's gone, took my heart away. Broken strings, broken wings, can't fly, can't sing, just this pain it brings. Every chord I strike feels hollow and cold. Your name still hums in my soul's fold. The choir of love has turned to cries, echoes of you in the night sighs.
Whoops, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. And thank you very much. Podcast is your home for rational, libertarian news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We're telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic libertarian, who has won and lost fortunes, And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the redheaded Bella. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? I'm good. Getting ready for a busy upcoming week, but yeah, I mean, looking forward to it. How are you tonight, Scott?
Busy, busy, busy. I'm in kind of the same thing, that position that you're in. We got a lot happening next week in regards to Sigea Storage, but I've been making it a point to post device recordings directly from the device, so you guys can see what we see and have it all rolling in there. Now, right now, at this time, images can be screen captured and all that other good stuff, and clearly we did that. It's just two flags we got to set, but clearly we did it that way so that I could continue to make device videos and show demos and all that other good stuff. If we have the flag set, then you're not going to see anything. So I'm going to screen record a blank screen for 3.5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and share that with you. But I thought it would be a little bit more welcome to actually be able to see the content. That was my whole thought process there. But you guys already know we can do that, so we'll flip it back on when the time is right before we go live, and for our final testing round. We'll flip that back on, so please test it, iOS, Android, all that other good stuff, and we'll see how that goes. Again, that always comes back, and it makes it very, very interesting. And the reason that we're using Jackal Protocol specifically, because with a chain ID and a file ID that is attached to each and every file, that's admissible in court. There's only one original. It's the one that you personally sent up. So even if somebody was to screen record or screen capture, and with the advent of AI and application of the liar's dividend, the only thing that's going to matter is authenticity. That's it. Everything else can be faked. It can be dismissed. But if it is on an immutable ledger, such as Jackal, that you uploaded through Sigea Storage, the file ID and chain ID are, in fact, immutable. It is proof of original ownership of that. So it makes it kind of interesting going forward, particularly as we start to scale and people start to get into stuff, because there's always black hats that are going to try to work their way around anything, including, what we're doing. So we've taken every precaution that we can physically take, but there's some things that you're going to have to do for yourself. For example, if you're browsing photos or images or setting stuff up and down on Sigea Storage, and somebody's over your shoulder with their phone and they're recording everything that you're doing, there ain't a lot we can do about that. I mean, we've taken every precaution we can, but we can't really help that. So there's always going to be little fringe incidents like that, regardless of how secure the protocol is. But rest assured that the original, the only one that really matters, that does belong to you, that only you can unencrypt, has a file ID and a chain ID on it, which is locked on an immutable ledger. And that is, in fact, admissible in court. So I don't care what they do, what they break out. You have the goods. You're the only one who does. You have the proof. You have the receipt. And you're the only human who ever will. So that'll get interesting, Belle. I think that's going to be an interesting thing as we start to scale out. We're going to run into stuff. If we get through everything and then, move on to other applications, things that we can do with the base layer, a lot of stuff could come up of that. So it's always nice making sure that you have that fallback. And in this case, our fallback is called a file ID and a chain ID. And there ain't no way around that. All right. There is no way around that. You would have to spoof 100 validators to say, nope, that is incorrect. And that won't happen. I mean, it just won't. So it'll be interesting with some of the applications that we have going on all that stuff. So wanted to hit a quick weekend review. I would love if Jeffafa or anybody out there is keeping tabs on the Clintons that are being deposed and all that other stuff right now, because I think I saw something, and I just would love some confirmation. Maybe Bell can look it up too, that Bill Clinton was in there being given his statement today. And I saw a snippet, I'm not sure if it's true or not, that Bill Clinton literally testified that Donald Trump had absolutely nothing to do with Epstein. He had nothing to do with this. The allegations are absolute, liar's dividend crap. But if somebody could confirm that for me, or if that is just something that somebody typed up on Twitter, I'd love to hear that. I would love to see how people work around that one, because I love the bear. The problem with being awakened from your your hibernation and the way that you see the world, it goes to allegory of the cave, and you guys know I'm a big fan. I've discussed this at length, but the bear of it is that as soon as you have in fact left your cave, you give up simple pleasures, because you're always trying to analyze everything and look for the real truth, not the one that is most easy to digest, but the one that is, the reality, the real truth. And I do that on everything now, everything. So even if Bill Clinton did say that, I'm looking for the angle. That's it. That's the problem with having the kind of, allegorical awakening that I had, that Bell had, is you give up all simple pleasures because you're always looking for the angle. It's hard to enjoy movies because you're always looking for the angle. You're always looking for the messaging and the hidden and all that other stuff. But it's very, very lonely too. It's very, very isolated. So if he did say that and somebody could find it, prove it, just tell me, yes, he did. No, he didn't. No, it's just Twitter crap. I'd certainly appreciate it. I can't imagine he would ever say something like that from a political standpoint. I can't imagine Bill, even if it was the truth. Politicians lie because they like it. It's second nature to them to lie. And Bill Clinton was, in fact, a politician. So, anything he'd say, I'm gonna distrust it just by rote. But that's me. Did you see anything on that, Bell, or is that just me wishful thinking?
So I'm seeing that. Okay, he was testifying before members of Congress over this for more than 6 hours in a closed door deposition.
Yep.
And he flat out is quoted as saying, "I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong," which could be the truth, could not be. I mean,
and this was
the courts will decide.
And that was in regards to Donald Trump specifically, right? Or is he just trying to clear
no,
himself?
That's literally for the whole thing. There is no mention of Donald Trump whatsoever in this article.
Okay.
So I think literally that's someone on Twitter trying to fan the flames.
Make the leap.
Why?
Sure. Did he know him? Sure. I mean, he's photographed with the guy. He's on the plane logs. Sure. All of that. But, honestly, if they had any real dirt on him, you don't think that shit would have came out by now? I mean, they would have been loving it to come out. The only reason, and this is my personal belief, that the Democrats, when they had everything, House, Senate, when they had the House, they had the Senate, they had the judiciary, they never really had the judiciary, but they had the House, they had Congress, and they had the executive branch. There's no reason for them not to release it at that time if it was as damning as they said. And my belief is that they didn't, because it was a hell of a lot more useful using that Epstein list as a kind of martyr, as opposed to actually, showing it all the way out. So I think that they could get more political points by keeping it hidden than releasing it, because there's no reason that they shouldn't have. They had the House, they had the Senate, they had the executive branch. They could have released that anytime. So Occam's razor, why didn't they? Why didn't they? If everything that you said, that Donald Trump's in there mentioned, 85 billion times, and he's done this, and Russian prostitute, all that other shit. If he did that, then there would be no reason not to release that. There would be absolutely no reason, because that is exactly what you want. But when I apply Occam's razor, I'm like, they didn't, because it's not. It's not. He's not in there, or he's mentioned, but nothing damning, or other people know what was really going on here. So they didn't, because it's a hell of a lot easier to use this for years and years and years, as opposed to, showing it, open it up, shining the light of day on it and find out that there's no there. Because after that's done, what you got now? What's the next thing that you're going to do? You tried the whole Russian collusion. It was, bunk. Then you tried the Epstein thing. That's going to come out and it's going to be a big nothing burger. And then what do you got after that? What do you got after that? This is not what the show's about, by the way. It's just kind of a weekend review thing, and that was something that I was thinking of. And we never talk about this. We never get in here and start talking about the Epstein list and all that other stuff. We never do. I stay away from it. I get it. Look, man, it's a terrible thing. Do I think they were scumbags, him and Maxwell? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Did they do everything that they said? Yeah. Did he hang himself? No. No, he didn't hang himself. Come on, don't be dense. But
All right. I'm also going to throw out that, okay, I'm reading BBC News as well,
no.
and they are also not mentioning anything to do with the Clintons accusing Donald Trump of anything.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have an organization that is going to be, your national news is very, very biased. So if you look abroad and are seeing the same thing, well, that's a little bit more verifiable if you're looking at multiple nations. I'm seeing BBC reporting this.
I'll take a look at Al Jazeera. And that's what's funny, because I used to go to the BBC because 10 years ago they used to simply report the news. They're so far gone that they're closer. Their media is closer to what existed in V for Vendetta than anything that could consider, that you could consider rational, reasonable media. So I used to go there. Now I don't, and because they're completely sold out. But interestingly, I have a tendency to take a look at Al Jazeera, because they seem to be call balls and strikes a hell of a lot more than the BBC does now, and that's usually all that I'm looking for. I just want to know the news. I don't need your spin on it. I don't need your slant on it. I will slant it any way I want. But I just want to hear person A did this to person B, and the result was person C. I mean, how hard is that? But we can't get that out of national media, not in the U.S., not in the UK. So I have to look further and further out to just simply find what happened. I mean, it shouldn't be that damn hard.
Asia Sentinel is also just giving the same summary of events of, okay, well, Bill Clinton testified that no, he didn't see anything happening and he didn't do anything. So they are literally all aligned.
Well, and then there you go, man. It could be, I don't know. I'll just kind of leave it there. I don't have access. I can't see them. Every member of Congress has seen the Epstein list. All of them have seen everything. They've all seen the pictures. They've all seen all of this stuff. So they all know. But there ain't no way in hell we're ever gonna know. That it's too damning. There's too much that's gonna come around on that. And you know what, guys? I do have a monologue tonight. We never do them on Fridays, but I was just on a space with. I was just on a space. I don't remember what it was, but they had D-Pin on there, so I jumped in, and they let me talk. And you guys know I like to talk about D-Pin. And it was actually a really good space. I didn't mean to co-opt it as hard as I did, but I'm very, very passionate about what I'm passionate about, and I have good audio all over the place. So when I start talking, people tend to, they tend to listen. But it was all about, it was kind of like a D-Pin thing, and it got into ethos, and that's where I live. That's where I live. That's where Bell lives. That's why we're building what we're building, the way that we're building it. And for us, it is all about ethos. Now, it's possible to build, stick to your guns, stick to your ethos, and be profitable on it. It's possible to do that if you're right, and we believe that we're right. So that's why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing it. But I would argue further, and that's kind of what my monologue is about. I just want to warm you guys up for it. The last remaining ethos in all of blockchain lives in D-Pin. That's it. It's the only space that really didn't get terribly, terribly centralized and corrupted is, in fact, decentralized physical infrastructure, because computers don't care. They call balls and strikes. There's no bias, from them at all. And this is the last bastion of ethos, of not asking for permission. That this is the last place that it exists out here in the entire Web3 space is D-Pin. And it's also my belief that if we are successful with Sigea Cloud Corporation, and particularly Sigea Storage and the additional apps, that there could potentially be a Web3 renaissance once people actually see what's possible by applying blockchain technology to things that kind of exist now, simply because blockchain will make them better, makes them cheaper, makes them safer, makes them faster. All of those things that a good business wants to be. And DPIN enables that, lets that happen. So we know we're the first. All right. We know we're the ones that are really out there hitting it. And we actually have a distribution plan. We know our customer cost of acquisition. We know all of these things. So we actually have a plan going out there. And that's what makes this more and more interesting to me as we continue to kind of go down that rabbit hole. Now, I was in the host of the space is into Pulse Chain and Hex. He's a big fan of Hex, and clearly I'm not. You guys have heard me talk about this one, Richard Hart and all that other stuff. But one of the points he made was very, very good, and the fact that the cult-like community that spun up around that guy. Now, he's absolutely correct, because there's still people over there holding that token that have never, ever, ever lost the vision of it. I mean, the delayed gratification and all that other shit. They've never lost the vision. So you could say that that's a very, very powerful cult. But the idea of what he was talking about is not too far different than what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is bucking central authority. That's what we're doing. That's what we're building. That's why we're doing it. We're doing it because we don't want to ask permission. We don't want any of these things. That's why we built where we built, how we built. So I understand that side of it. As far as the toga goes, come on, man. The guy's he's a scum. He's an extractor. He's a big, big, big one right from the get-go. That's what Richard Hart was about. He's a snake oil salesman. It's easy to sell snake oil. But he wasn't wrong about everything. Just the application of his personal ethos was dead wrong. But he wasn't wrong, meaning you should have one anyway. That's the way I see it. Anyway, Bill, go ahead and talk for a moment. I have to turn on the teleprompter.
And Sofa Ninja reporting that, okay, that space was put on by Crypto Sailor.
Yeah, and that's fine. It was a good space. I had it, and he's passionate about it. Now, we talked to him. Me and Bell did. Oh, 1 second, Bell. I gotta pop open my thing. So, all right. So I'm gonna do my read. Obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and do my read. My God, have we chewed 20 minutes already? Man, these things go fast.
Yeah.
When we're just off the cuff. Man, these things go fast. I don't want to tie everybody up on this right here. So if we have any questions, comments, or concerns, let's go ahead and hit them right now before I do the read. So if they just want to say hi and bounce, they're given the opportunity. So Belle, go ahead and do your thing.
New type. Is Scott wearing a hat or a Hulk Hogan bandana?
I am wearing a bandana because I was out here doing some work, and I've been. These headphones are only perfect exactly the way that they are, and every single hat that I wear has got that little button on top, and it digs down into the top of my head, and it hurts. So I should either replace these headphones, pat them up, or just do this, because you got to have some. I got a bald head, bro, and this stuff digs in and it gets sweaty and I get pimples. So I'd rather do it like this. So no, I'm not wearing a hat. I'm wearing a bandana. It's a little warmer out here, and I was out doing some work in. The other side of the studio is actually a shop, and I was kind of icky, so I just slapped it on. Thank you for noticing, and hope that answered the question. Belle, carry on, please.
All right, Sigea fan. Hey, did anyone hear that California passed and signed a law that all computers' operating systems will require age verification by January 2027 or pay $7,000 fine per user, even things like Linux or FreeDOS?
Well, okay, what are you going to do with the age verification? I don't get it.
See, this is my thing, okay? If you require that every computer with an operating system, which they all have to have,
Something, yeah.
needs age verification in order to operate, you are going to eliminate computers from a lot of schools. And how is that going to impact our kids?
Well, let's explore this one for just a sec. I do want to read my monologue, guys. I spent some time writing this. I do want to get that out. But what's the purpose of the age verification? I guess that would be it. Because is the next step the government going to decide what can actually be displayed on a computer or a tablet or a smart, watch or a smartphone? Is the government going to decide what can be displayed on that phone if the user is under 17 years of age? What I'm saying is I get why they did it, but I'm trying to figure out, what's next. So it just seems to me that if you require age verification on a computer, then the next step would be the government deciding what can be shown to ages that are on that computer. And I know that sounds like an impossible task, but with the rise of AI, that wouldn't even be difficult for AI to sort that out. So that's color me skeptical. I'll just kind of leave it there. Color me a little bit skeptical on that one, because it just seems like one hell of a bit of overreach, and it makes me wonder, what's the next? I mean, that's the one, and I'm waiting for the two, so I'm kind of curious where that one would be. Anyway, just my
Well,
thoughts.
and I mean, I'm perfectly skeptical over that too, because number one, that's creating a lot of work. Yeah, and who's going to go through and do all of that work? That's one thing.
We'll need
For
a new
two,
department, Bell.
uh,
I love new departments.
uh, the other thing is, okay, um, I actually am perfectly capable of monitoring, and all three of my children are grown now, thankfully, but I'm perfectly capable of monitoring what content my children are watching. They have parental block controls in place for a reason.
Yeah, and that was my thing. It's like I can swear we already had that. They're called
Right?
They're called parents. I mean,
Yes.
maybe they do it differently in California, that they actually need the government to step in and say, make sure, this is the only shit that can be displayed to a 13-year-old. But tell me that isn't overreach. I mean, tell me that isn't brutal overreach. The computer belongs to me. I paid for the operating system. Where do you get the authority to require me to prove my age before I can use my own product? Where do you get off on that? Look, I'll give you the 16 to drive a car. I think that's a good idea. But
Right?
in this case, I'm using public roads. So I make a choice to do that. But if I purchase this computer and they take all of my money and I get all of the computer and I bring it home to my property and I close my door, where does the government get off saying, yeah, but you have to prove that you're old enough to use it? I mean, is that where we're going with this? Because this seems like an incredibly slippery slope, and and I do believe it. So no, good comment, bro. I didn't know about that, but you bet your ass we're going to check up on this.
Yeah, again, I'm skeptical over that one. So, yeah.
All right, one more, Bell, and I'm going to do my monologue.
Sigea fan, didn't Al Gore's media company buy Al Jazeera 10 plus years ago?
I believe so.
Sigea fan, no, it
No.
was the other way around.
Oh,
It was the other way around.
now Al Gore founded Air America, didn't he? Wasn't that his big thing? To colossal failure, by the way. Air America was an absolute colossal failure. Pure liberal slant, and we're talking about wildly left. I mean, from day one. And it turns out that people didn't want to listen, and people didn't care. So when you finally got everything you wanted, the absolute pure safe space echo chamber, you didn't tune in. So it's just kind of funny how that works. All right. Anyway.
But yeah, that was current TV. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry, current TV. There you go. It was something. I thought he had something to do with Air America. You can fact check me on that one. I'm not sure, but I thought he had something to do with that. Doesn't really matter. All right. So I get to do my bit here, folks. So I hope you can endure me. And Jason, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine, come with me on this, a world born from rebellion. A digital frontier where power isn't hoarded by banks or governments, but distributed among the people. That is the ethos of crypto: decentralization, permissionless innovation, financial sovereignty, and a fierce resistance to centralized control. Now, it started way back when. It started with Bitcoin in 2008, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system designed to cut out the middleman after the financial crisis exposed the fragility of traditional systems. Satoshi Nakamoto's vision was clear: empower individuals, bypass authorities, and create a trustless network where code is law. This wasn't just tech. It was a philosophy, a manifesto for freedom in the digital age. But fast forward to today, and that ethos feels like a distant memory, because it is a distant memory. Crypto has abandoned its roots, cozying up to the very centralized authorities it once vowed to dismantle. So the question is, how did we get here? It started subtly, as it always does. Centralized exchanges like Binance and Coinbase rose to dominance, handling the bulk of trading volume. These platforms promised convenience, easy onboarding, fiat ramps, and user-friendly interfaces. But at what cost? They became the new gatekeepers, holding users' keys, complying with regulations, and even freezing assets when governments knocked. Do you remember FTX's collapse? It wasn't a failure of decentralization. It was a stark reminder of how centralized entities can implode, taking billions with them. Now, the irony is palpable. Bitcoin, the poster child for decentralization, now sees its markets anchored by these hyper-centralized hubs. Even Ethereum, the smart contract powerhouse, grapples with it. Debates rage about balancing core values with functionality. Layer 2 solutions and roll-ups improve scalability, but they often introduce points of centralization. And don't get me started on DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. They were supposed to democratize governments, but many devolve into plutocracies where token whales call the shots, masquerading centralization as community rule. Foundations, once seen as stewards of projects, have morphed into centralized bottlenecks, entrenching control under the guise of independence. XRP, remember them? Slammed by critics as a centralized blockchain relying on proof of authority, betraying the permissionless ideal. As adoption grows, institutions flood in like they always do. BlackRock ETFs, corporate treasuries holding Bitcoin. But this mainstreaming risks diluting the soul of crypto. We're witnessing a paradox. The decentralized dream co-opted by elites, with Bitcoin's peer-to-peer ethos challenged by centralized narratives and centralized control. We've embraced centralized authority because it's easier. Because it's easier. What about regulations? Sure. Bring on the KYC and AML to legitimize the space. You remember that? That was last year. It will legitimize the space. But legitimacy at the price of freedom, which is what happened, that's a Faustian bargain. Crypto's early adopters fought for a world without trusted third parties. Yet here we are, trusting exchanges more than ever. The abandonment, it isn't total, Pockets of resistance remain, but the shift is undeniable. Speculation over substance, hype over utility, investors over users. But there is hope on the horizon. We're entering a new renaissance in crypto, one that pivots away from the endless churn of new blockchains and towards something far more impactful: consumer applications. Forget launching yet another layer 1 chain with marginal improvement in throughput or consensus. We've got enough of those. Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, you name it. The real innovation now is building on top of them, creating apps that everyday people actually want to use. This is the application layer awakening, where Web3 steps out of its infrastructure obsession and into the consumer spotlight. Think about it. The blockchain renaissance isn't about overthrowing systems with more tech jargon. It's about rethinking business processes and empowering users with seamless experiences. Consumer chains are leading the charge. Purpose-built networks for payments, gaming, social, and loyalty programs that abstract away the blockchain complexity. No more fumbling with wallets or gas fees, just smooth, intuitive interactions that feel like Web 2, but with Web 3 ownership underneath. Let me say that one more time. They feel like Web 2, Sigea Storage, but with Web 3 ownership underneath. Now, there's some games out there, like those on Immutable or Ronin, aren't just play-to-earn gimmicks. They're habit-forming experience where blockchain fades into the background. Social platforms. The only one I could really even say is Farcaster, but we even ruined that. But they had the right idea. They're building communities without the centralized ownership of Twitter or Facebook. NFTs on Magic Eden or OpenSea, stabilized, focused on utility like digital collectibles or access passes, not just flips. This renaissance echoes the Web3 vision as a golden age for content and creation, tilting scales towards creators over corporations. Now, app chains make it possible, customized for specific needs without bloating general purpose chains. It's not about more chains. It's about better apps. In 2026, the top consumer apps are quietly dominating. Immutable for gaming, Ronin for mass scale play, even Farcaster for social, and marketplaces like Magic Eden, proving that Web3 thrives when it prioritizes value over speculation. Users return because these apps deliver engagement, not incentives. And in this landscape, one corner stands out as the true guardian of crypto's original ethos. DePIN, or Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. This right here is where decentralization isn't just a buzzword. It's alive, it's breathing, and it's bridging the digital with the physical world. DePIN uses blockchain to coordinate real-world infrastructure. Think wireless networks, energy grids, cloud computing, even mapping and AI resources. Projects like Helium for IoT connectivity, Filecoin for decentralized storage, or Render for GPU sharing incentivize individuals to contribute hardware and earn tokens. It's permissionless participation at its finest. Anyone with a device can join, lowering barriers and distributing ownership. So, in my opinion, why is DeepIn the last bastion? Because it embodies the ethos, decentralizing monopolistic systems like telecoms or data centers, unlocking value from disconnected real-world assets. In energy, just as an example, solar panels and batteries create virtual power plants, resilient and community-owned. Revenue comes from utility, not hype. Networks grow based on actual demand for services like Wi-Fi or compute. And unlike the centralized creep elsewhere, DeepIn resists it by design. It's crowdsourced, blockchain orchestrated, and focused on physical utility. It's the ethos reborn, applying decentralization to tangible problems, from pollution monitoring to 5G buildouts. With over 300 projects and billions in market cap, DeepIn proves crypto can disrupt without abandoning its soul. So, finally, let's talk about the heart of this renaissance. Web3 needs consumers, doesn't need investors. We got plenty of those. For too long, this space chased speculators, pump and dump schemes, meme coins, endless fundraising for infra that very few people use. But true adoption comes from serving everyday people with real value. Surveys show that interest is high among younger generations, but they want utility. Consumer chains are the on-ramp. Seamless apps for shopping, gaming, social, driving mass adoption without the crypto bullshit. Investors, they fund the vision, but consumers sustain it. Web3 fosters engagement through ownership. Tokens as stakes in ecosystems, not just bets. Brands like Nike or Starbucks use NFTs for loyalty, turning customers into partners. It's about underserved users, P2P marketplaces for the unbanked, democratizing access. What it means is control over data, aligned incentives, and authentic relationships. Web3 matters because it decentralizes ownership, putting power back in users' hands. Chase consumers, build apps they love, and the investors will follow organically because that's how it works. So, as we stand on this precipice, let's reclaim the ethos. Embrace the consumer renaissance. Champion DeepIns, real-world decentralization, and build for users, not speculators. Crypto's future isn't in more chains. It's in meaningful applications that liberate. Thank you. That's all of it. What you think there, Belle? Did you hear it, or did I lose you? I think I lost you somewhere in there, because you've heard me say something like this 15 billion times in one way or another.
I mean, our stance hasn't changed. You've got to, people have got to quit focusing on wallets. And I mean,
keep talking. I dropped my cork. I have to go find it.
You flat out brought up wallets. Well, I mean, people keep building and building and building wallets. Two, the other thing is, okay, they're building stuff that just because they think it's cool. Well, you can't, that doesn't attract anybody from Web 2 over. You gotta focus on what the majority of people, only about 6% of the worldwide population is familiar in any way, shape, form, or fashion with blockchain. The rest of the population has no idea what can be accomplished using blockchain tech. You've got to focus and build things that solve problems that the rest of the world is facing every day. You can't just, go, "Ooh, shiny. This is cool. I'm going to focus on this."
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And it actually brings up an interesting interesting point on why we're working on what we're working on. I saw G Taurus's comment. I never get to read a comment, but I saw this one, and I'm going to try to do it. What is being worked on now with Sigea in the background? That the very last comment. Let me say.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're still working on flagship, bro. That's it. Sigea Storage is absolutely the flagship. It's a base layer for every single thing that we do, and that's it. Now, the applications using the base layer are freaking endless. Endless. I personally think we're going to hit kind of a home run with content distribution when we get around to it. And I'm going to show you an example of why. And we can actually do it right now with the Sigea app. This is going to be sketchy as hell, guys. We did not plan this. I told Belle we're going to try it before I go live. So it's going to be a little sketchy. You're going to have to work with us here. Just give us a break. And our devs are right now crunching away on the servers and the databases. So it'll be embarrassing if it doesn't work, but I'm sure you guys will understand that this is still something that's in development, and we have very, very active devs. So one more question, Belle. Let me drink, and then we'll go ahead and do the demo. I hope it works. If not, this is going to be silly, but go for it.
All right, so Mackenzie, hey guys, long time back in the U.S. playing the long game, keep the story going. Again, Mackenzie, welcome back. You've been missed, man.
Yeah, brother, it's appreciated. Hey, I still got 2 bags of you know what I'm talking about right there, but one of them is completely gone. I think I might have a problem, bro. I don't believe so. I feel really good about myself, but yeah, we're down to that. So if you got any of the new, you know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. We'll get you taken care of.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't he send that to you in like October of this past year?
Yeah, I don't do that much.
I know. I mean,
I don't do that much.
It's been a while.
All right, look, we're gonna have a go at this, guys. This is gonna be sketchy as hell. And again, we didn't plan this. I just wanted to throw it up because when we're talking about DPIN, I want to try to show everything I can. All right. So if you guys can see it, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a little bitchy. This is actually Sigea Cloud, and I will get as close to this camera as I possibly can, so you guys can kind of see it. All right, that's Sigea. It's not gonna focus, man, but you guys get the idea. So there's the.
Actually, it's kind of focusing. I was about to say it was kind of focusing there.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit that little camera button right there that says take a photo, and what I'm gonna do is take a very obvious photo of myself. I'm sure you guys can see that. At least I think you can. And we're going to get that photo, and we're going to upload that photo. Now, like I said, that's the YouTube that's going on up there, so excuse me on that one. And I hope that the picker will pick it up. So you can see, I think we can all agree that the photo that I just took. Belle, would we agree that this is the photo I just took?
Yes, that is the photo you just took.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share this photo with the original Bella, and that's what the share screen looks like. So I'm going to hit the search, and you see how the original Bella shows up right there. So I'm going to share that file with Bella. So that file just got shared. Now the rest of this is going to be on Bella. So tell me when you get the image.
So it's already come through.
Okay. Will the item will the picker show it? Because right now we're that's what we're working on right now. As a matter of fact, is the preview picker. So if it is, pull it up, preview it, and show your camera so everybody can see that it's the same file.
Well, okay. I was going to sit there and go, okay, there's 2 marks on this. There's either a red X if you want to reject it, or a blue check mark. So I'm hitting the check mark.
Yeah, we can't just dump it on you. You have to accept.
Yeah, we can't just dump it on you.
Accept the file. All right. Would you guys agree that that is the image that you just saw on my phone that you now see over there on Belle's phone? Would you guys agree with that? I think you would. I'm going to go ahead and hit a round of applause. Now, this is actually kind of interesting now because this is what Sigea can do that really nobody else can do, and they definitely can't do it in an encrypted fashion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the photo. So I just deleted it, and I'm sure I think I'm on this camera now. You guys can agree that that photo that's right there, that was right there, is now gone. I think we can agree with that. So what makes it really, really interesting is that, Bell, show them your device.
Yep, and I am literally in the shared with me tab. And yeah.
And that the photo is gone. See, it doesn't exist anymore. So that's one of the things that really gets us. I mean, that gets me like emotionally aroused when I see how well that works. So where we say that you control your content, we mean you control your content. This is yours. It belongs to you. We just did a live demo. All right, you guys saw the picture. You saw me share it with Belle. You saw it on Belle's phone, and you saw me delete it from her device because it doesn't belong to her. It belongs to me. I chose to share it, but it still belongs to me. If I lend you my car, it doesn't make it your car. It's still my car, and I'm going to get it back, whatever the hell I want it back, because it belongs to me. This is how we feel about your guys' personal property, because it's not pictures, it's property. It belongs to you. An effort was done on your part to create something that didn't exist until the very moment that you did it. It didn't exist until now. So that means work was performed, and this was the output of that work. I consider that your personal property. And Sigea Storage and Sigea Cloud Labs considers that your personal property. It ain't ours. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to you. And when you delete it, I don't care if you shared this with 15,000 people at once, which we're going to allow you to do. But the moment that you take it back, it's gone from everybody because it's yours. Now, when we turn the flags back on, as far as screen captures or screen copies, you know we have those disabled. That doesn't work. You could take a screenshot. You're going to get a big black thing, as a big black box. As a matter of fact, if we were more CryptoPunkish, the only thing you would see is a black image and a finger going, nope, can't do that here. But we are pushing into Web 2, so we have to be a lot more subtle about that. I would love to do the cyberpunk kind of thing and have it go. You remember Nedley from Jurassic Park? You didn't say the magic word. That's what I would do. I would just splash that meme up there, or I would rickroll anybody who tried. So as soon as you did it, you got that, never going to give you up, never going to let you. I would rickroll every.
We'd have to get the rights to do so from the artist, though.
You know, we don't have
to. He might find that hilarious.
All we have to do is skew it a little bit via AI, and then it's our creation. Yeah, I know. I don't want to fight that one. It'll say, it'll probably say something like screen capture is not possible on this device. We'll figure something out, what to put in there nicely. I'd be fine
with a silhouette going.
No, we can't use that because that was Degeneration X. Remember, they did the cross arm things. There's too many trademarks out here. Now we have to come up with something unique. But that's what we're working on at Sigea Cloud. That's what ethos means to us. I just want to make sure that we're crystal clear here, guys. Should be, yes, it's a good app. Yes, we should be profitable by pushing this out. Yes, I believe 5% of the world's population values privacy, that they share a similar ethos to me. That's one person out of 20 that shares a similar ethos to myself and Bell. I do believe that. Yes, I do believe we'll be profitable with this. I believe that we'll be wildly profitable with this. I think we're going to jackal it. We are the hope. We are it. And we're going to succeed because when you stick to ethos and you become necessary, and we're necessary to people who truly value their privacy and truly value their personally identifiable information and truly value their digital footprint, we are invaluable and necessary because nobody else can do it. Nobody. If we did this very same thing on iCloud, two things would have happened. One, Bell would still have that image, and iCloud would still have that image. But because we did it on Jackal, and you guys, because you're family and you understand, we've been talking about this for a long time, you understand how Jackal works, that the very moment that I delete it, it's gone from Jackal. Jackal doesn't have a copy, and even if they did, it's encrypted. Same with us. But Jackal is not going to pay to host data that nobody's paying for. Occam's razor. Is it in their interest to host data that they cannot monetize? I'm going to spare you the deliberation on this. The answer is no. So when you combine all of those things, all of those elements, and you couple it with the demo that you just saw, we are the most secure, private ownership platform that exists for any of your personal information. All of it. Any picture, any image. And the picture that you just saw me take does not exist on my phone because we bypass it. I'll do live demos again. I'll show you my gallery. I don't want to really show you a lot of my gallery. I have to take a picture of the floor. I do a lot of naughty stuff, and it ends up on that phone because Sigea wasn't ready yet. But now Sigea is ready, so it's just going to all go through Sigea, and I don't give a damn. But I'm happy to show you my gallery. Before and after I do this exact same demo, and you know what you're going to see in my gallery? Nothing, because we bypassed it. 26.01, which was an update that Apple themselves put out, allowed third-party apps like us to do exactly what we're doing, which suggests to me that even Apple realizes that privacy and security is on the uptick. That's it. It gets just that binary. Now, we can get into tokenomics, how it's going to apply to Jackal, how it's going to apply to Cache and all that other stuff. But I'm pretty sure you guys can add. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. When we're not paying for gigabytes but terabytes, and we're not paying for terabytes but petabytes, and when we're not paying for petabytes but exabytes at $15 per terabyte, I'm pretty sure you guys can do the math yourselves. This is the Nash equilibrium and the Renaissance and all of crypto ethos tied into a very, very single thing. And if anybody else is out there doing what we're doing, please let me know, because I have to see their product and make ours better. I don't wish them ill. I wish them nothing but success. Anything that's good for the Web3 space is good for us as well. But innovation is great for competition, and it's great for the consumers. And isn't that what this is about? Making sure that your private information stays private. I don't care what it is, man. You want to take a bunch of pictures of your dick and post them all over? That's on you, bro. We'll host them, but we're not going to judge you because we can't even see them. But if you want to share them to the world, and all these girls that now have a picture of your junk and you're not with them anymore and you want to make them disappear, 3 dots, delete, and they're gone. They're gone from us, and they're gone from them. Who else can do it via the cloud? I'm all ears. Bell, questions, comments, please.
Now, kind of tagging on to what you were saying there. Okay, if you've got a product idea, and I mean, we've got a list of a mile long, if not longer, of products on our whiteboard that eventually, we're going to be rolling from one app to another to another.
Oh God, private pass is going to kill us. Ugh.
Not every product idea fits in with our roadmap for Sigea Cloud Labs, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't possibly know a team that wouldn't be willing to build that for you. I mean, one thing does not equal the other.
Yeah, and the thing that depresses me about that, Bell, and I followed all that Jackal unofficial price chat. I followed all of that. It just seems like we're spoon feeding this to the entire community, but nobody's really picking up on it. Now, where my mind is going after this. I know medical records is the end result because we're talking about multi-trillion dollars that are going up there, and we only need a piece of that. We will get a piece of it, just a matter of time. But it seems to me to be a crime to ignore the adult entertainment industry, because nothing has driven technological innovation more than the adult entertainment industry. And whether you find it distasteful or not, doesn't matter. Why are you shaking your head? What was that? Something I said, or is it something that went up there?
No, it's a comment that
Okay,
popped up.
we'll get that. Nothing has driven technological innovation more than the adult entertainment industry. And Private Pass will live. And Private Pass is going to get a big old nice little fat chunk of that because we are so cheap to operate that we don't have to take a big old chunk. And if anybody's ever seen one of those horror stories of the adult entertainers that have come to Jesus or changed their mind and really wish that their content could disappear from the internet, Bell, we just proved that it can disappear from the internet. We just proved it. So I'm saying that there's some there. And when I see something, look, guys, I'm 54. All right. My days of perusing porn sites are pretty well past me. I don't care anymore. But I look at it from a good perspective, meaning from the outside looking in. And I look at that and say, could we build something like this? And would it be profitable? That's kind of where I'm at. It's never, ever going away. Throughout human history, chiseled into the goddamn pyramids, there's naked women. So throughout history, it's proven that there is a demand, for it. And when there's a demand for a product, I love to be on the supply side. If you want to see what I'm talking about, look up, anybody sitting in front of your computer right now, look up the stock ticker VRT and open that up to 5 years. If you want to see what a real supplier looks like when demand exceeds supply, take a look at VRT. I told you about this years and years ago. But none of this stuff is going away, and nobody can do it the way that we do it. Belle, please carry on.
All right. So, Sigea fan, wow, Hex, that's still around? Isn't it all scam at this point? I never looked into it after hearing a interview with the founder. I ran far away.
It was a scam from the get-go, man. But one thing he was absolutely correct about is that it's very easy to sell snake oil. It's very easy to sell snake oil. Show of hands, who's ever seen the movie The Outlaw Josie Wales? I will argue it's one of Clint Eastwood's all-time best movies. And when he was on the ferry going across, and the guy came up and was trying to sell him his miracle elixir and was telling him it's good on basically anything. And Josie spit on the guy's white jacket, and he just looked at him and says, "How's it on stains?" And then he just walks away. What I'm saying is that it's very easy to sell snake oil. So I disagree with the results and what he did. But as far as bringing a community together, you cannot doubt the efficiency. It's very easy to sell snake oil and get a whole bunch of people in. That's where I'm just going to kind of leave it there, Belle. Please carry on.
G. Torres, Scott, look at how well silk has held up against the market. It's up 18% the past year. Good to see that shade has done something very well.
Yeah, and in this case, yeah, they did. Now, for me personally, bro, I'm not going to get into any other stable coins because stable coins have proven that they are only stable as long as the market is rational. As soon as the market goes irrational, our anchor, our lighthouse, the thing that guides every other thing out here. I remember USDC depegging down to about 80 cents. I'm sure you guys do too. But yeah, man, it has held up. I like Carter. I do. I think that he did maintain the ethos of what crypto is supposed to be. I've never said a negative word about the guy. I've never had that much interaction. We met him over in Dubai, and when he was still sitting on the AA DAO. You remember that, Bell? I'm not disagreeing with that, but some of the past relations and shit that went on between people that we love and trust versus somebody else, it's always going to kind of skew us. But yeah, that it did hold up versus everything else. Now, will it last? There ain't enough volume. There ain't enough volume or liquidity over there to really say that this is a thing. But I do respect him for kind of sticking to his ethos on that. And I'll just kind of leave it there. You guys know I'm an ethos kind of guy. I'll carry on, please.
All right, regarding the issue of the button on your head pushing down while you're wearing your headphones, uh, Mel, take the button off. Drywallers do that ASAP.
Yeah, no. How about that, Mel? No. I'll just wear a goddamn headband. And you know what? Tomorrow, I have about $7 left in my bank account because I have to pay you and everybody else that's out here. I'm going to go and buy bandanas, whatever I can find for 3 for $1. And I'm going to buy 6, 9, or 12. Yeah, you're broke too. Don't put your hands up like
Hey,
you're sitting
hey,
fat. What?
why would you buy them when I have the stuff to just whip together several of them already?
I don't want them whipped together. I want to go to Dollar Tree and buy a dozen of them for $4. That's what I want to do. You know what? Just for you, Mel, and you, new type, who pointed it out. There's going to be a different color fucking headband on me every day for the next 2 weeks because I can get these for the. You want to make them, Bell? Make them. I will wear them. All right. I'm tired of hats. I'm tired of looking like one of those guys, and but I still have a bald head, and because I shave my head, and these things make me sweaty and give me pimples. So look. This is the accommodation I'm making. It's weird that you guys. This is what you thought to mention. It's just weird to me that you said, "Oh my God, Scott's doing something different." That this is what got brought up. So that's weird. Find me a green one. I want a green one, like a good cholo one. And I can say that because I grew up on the west side of Phoenix. All right, I'm allowed. It's okay. I speak Spanish. Belle, carry on.
All right, G Torres, regarding the age verification on iOS or operating systems. Yeah, it's to get closer to a mass surveillance digital ID system, Scott.
Yup. Look at me disagreeing with you, bro. That's me disagreeing with you. Belle, carry on. I'm going to watch you read it. I don't want to reach to the stream deck.
Fisherman, that's worse than the adult sites wanting it. Very true.
It is, isn't it? Isn't that great? We have such a good audience, man. You know what? Me and Belle never do that, but we're going to do it right now. You guys give us a round of applause, I hope. I'm going to give one to you. We have and continue to have the smartest audience in all of crypto. That's it. Our guys are tuned in. They are awakened. They're all out of their allegorical caves, and nothing is ever going to change that. It will always be the core audience here, and these are the smartest people that exist out here. That's where I'm going to leave it, Belle. And I noticed that I applauded, but Belle didn't. Are you sitting on your lofty? Clap your hands, Belle. Let everybody see it. Come on, you know where it is. There you go. Thank you. Belle, please carry on.
New type. Ooh, opinions on the Department of War now threatening Anthropic.
I saw that, bro. You believe that shit? That is fighting words. I didn't dig into it, but I promise you I will. For a very rare thing, I don't think Belle's available tomorrow, but I might be. And if I am, I will go live tomorrow to talk about this very thing. I'm a 26-year Navy vet. All right. Well, I'm a 24-year Navy vet because I did 2 years in the Army as a 13 Delta. So I might have to get into this. That got me very, very interested. You know, all of a sudden my spider sense was tingling. So I got to dig into this a little bit. So even if Belle's not available, I may go live tomorrow night just so I could talk about this very thing. We're kind of free. Belle and I are free, even though Belle's sitting there looking at text messages while we're live.
No, I was starting to get a phone call in, which is weird during stream. And yeah, Mario Collins, I'm not interested in the pre-approval for the $70,000 loan.
You know
that
what?
You've got
Next
for
time
me.
that comes up, you take the call, you put it on speaker, you hold it up to the microphone so we can all have the conversation together. I think it's important that we share this information. I will keep that guy on the line for fucking hours.
You know what? Let's see if I can schedule an appointment to have him call back the next time I'm in the studio, because that would be hysterical and everyone would die laughing.
Can you get him on Zoom? That would be best. Audio only on Zoom so that I can offer critique as well as we're going. That would be fun. We can absolutely do that. Anyway, Belle, please carry on.
All right, G. Torres, based on the Epstein files, I wouldn't trust politicians saying these laws are for protecting kids. They do like kids, but it's more like they like them in a PDF file way, not caring for their well being type of way.
Nah, bro, they're looking
Can't
at.
argue that point.
No, I can't. They're looking at future voters, and they want to make
Yep.
sure that they vote Democrat. All right, that's it. Let's Occam's razor. If you don't know what Occam's razor is, fucking Google it. I've said it too many times on here, but yeah, man, that's what it is. You're not wrong. You ain't wrong. You're not even a little bit off base. Bell, carry on, please.
All right, Mackenzie missed the lives as well, guys. 3 a.m. in Nairobi. First day back in the US, so I'll be around. Wanted to swing by YouTube for the return. We'll switch to X next week sometime.
I appreciate it, man. Look, if you got a new strain, a new something going on over there, you got my address, bro. That's all I'm saying. And I promise, if you send me the good stuff, I will do one of these shows, even though I never ever do that. But I will do it absolutely baked, because I'm kind of curious what I would say, Bell. I'm just curious what would come out of me when I'm very, very, very introspective. Don't roll your goddamn eyes. All right. We are entertainers, Bell, as well as anything else. And it would be, I'm very, very curious what would come out of my mouth.
You're also one of the two public faces of Sigea Cloud Labs, so you've got to keep that in mind too.
Yeah, the Sigea Cloud Labs, that is anti-government as any entity that has ever existed out here. I believe in small, local, limited government. I absolutely respect the government of the state of Iowa, the local government of the city of Des Moines, because this is where I live. Government should be felt as the barest of breath on the back of the neck of the citizenry. Government should fear the people. Let me say that again, in case I wasn't clear. Government should fear the people. That if they get out of line, we are going to hold them accountable. That is justice. That is liberty. Now, I ask you, is that the kind of society that we are living in right now? Because if we're not living in that society, then we are living in something else. And it's not called liberty. It's not called justice. Bell, carry on, please.
All right. So regarding rickrolling people who try and screenshot a file, do it in bagpipes. I mean,
We know
can hook
people.
up-
We know people that can do that.
and it would just mean a drive over to Indiana this summer to make that happen. They'll do it for
Fuck.
They'll do it for a.
Let's do that. Let's do that right now. I will literally jump in the truck, pick you up, we'll drive to Indiana, and we will rickroll people in bagpipes. I don't know anything else that could really, really give the ethos of what Sigea Cloud is about than that very
Scott.
thing right there. What?
Scott,
I didn't come
The
up with the
reason-
idea. Somebody else did.
hey. The reason we would have to meet up with them in Indiana is because they are scattered out across different states, and Indiana is a central meeting point for them.
Great.
It's also one for us. So
we could pay them. We still got a little bit left in the treasury. We'll pay them $1,000. They all come in and we rickroll people in bagpipes. Tell me anybody who has ever done that. Bell, there's always an entertainment element to any kind of social app, and we are, believe it or not, a social application. That is funny. That will show up on Twitter. That will get us customers. You want to talk about customer cost of acquisition? $1,000 to pay these people to rickroll us in bagpipes. That will show up. I'll ask the audience, do you guys believe that will show up, that somebody will take that, screenshot it, put it up on Twitter? Because do you have any idea how many consumers that would get us at that moment just to test it? Yeah. I'm an idea
Scott.
man, Bell. This is what I do, and that's a good idea.
Scott,
What?
you realize for me, all it would take is bringing Angus a bottle of really good bourbon, and they will do it for that.
Fine.
And if we go down and join them in throwing knives and axes, that would be their cost to do this.
Gotcha. Schedule it, Belle. Schedule it. And we're on
Done.
it. Okay. Just see how easy that is. I'm an idea man, Belle. All right. This is what I do. And you know I'm right. You might disagree with me, but you know I'm right. I will play it on this stream from this frame every single day. Oh, wait. Let me try to do it in bagpipe. Let me try to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
No,
Belle,
no,
come on.
don't.
I'm ready to roll with this. I'm not even tuned up. That's a funny thing. You would think, oh my God, Scott's drunk. This isn't even close to me being liquored up. I'm just saying that that's a good idea. That is the kind of stuff that takes Sigea Storage from a pretty neat app to viral. That's what it takes. And that's a good idea. Who said that? Who recommended that? Was it you that did it? Well, I ain't gonna pay you.
Mel,
Fuck you.
Mel,
I
yeah, Mel started it with suggesting that we get
Get
that played on
Pictus.
bagpipes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the one that suggested, okay, well, we can do that in Indiana.
Okay,
I'm pretty
I
sure
know. It's
everyone
very
in the
important that you
audience-
get credit. Yes, we're there. We got it. Schedule it. We're there. I will buy a bottle of 18-year Whistle Pig. Do you know how much that bottle costs? More than I'm worth right now. But we will get it. We'll do it. They'll record it. We'll put it on there. And anytime somebody tries a screen capture, they're going to get rickrolled by bagpipes. That is fantastic. Oh, my God. I'm so excited about this now. Just let me know when, Belle. I'll drive. I'll get an oil change. It'll be wonderful. I can't afford one, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, so Dexgate, aka Deja 2023, would Sigea offer a dev-friendly storage API?
Talk to me. You-
This was kind of brought up in Telegram earlier today.
Okay.
Unless we have a paying client that needs that storage API, we are not going to go out of our way to build one. That takes money and that takes man hours. We can't just up and build one for the hell of it.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Look, I hate to go all business Scott, because business Scott is a hell of a lot different than the Scott that goes live 4 or 5 nights a week. You show me an ROI. Show me an ROI, man, and we're there. All right, we're absolutely there. This is about ethos for me and Belle, and anything that will secure people's data, we're all about it. But we cannot pretend that we have billions of dollars that we can just simply piss away on an API. All right, you show me that there's going to be an ROI for this, and we'll make it happen. No problem. This is bigger than us. It's bigger than me and the Bell. It's bigger than the Sigea cloud, man. It is literally about sovereignty, and we're all about that. But we also have to pretend that we're a business. We cannot do the crypto thing where we piss away, $1.3 million on a conference that turns into an echo chamber. We can't do that. You show me customers. You show me the people you have lined up that are just waiting to use this, and I guarantee you get your API. No problem. Because it's good for you, it's good for us, it's good for them. But we cannot pull resources from our current roadmap and from our flagship to build a pet hobby project, man. We just can't. All right, but you show me that we're going to make some money on this. We don't even have to make a lot of money, man. We're happy with break even plus 1%. We're good with that because it's important. But you got to show it to us, man. You show it to us, babe, you got it. You got the API. We'll put it, plug it in, boom, you're done. We'll do the work. But you got to show us something, man. I appreciate the question. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Sigea fan, I don't think I've done anything on Telegram since Fight Farm was on it. Speaking of, how is that guy doing?
You know, he's starting to revitalize a little bit. Uh, this is Chris we're talking about, Chris with a K. Yeah, he's starting to revitalize, man. I'm seeing a lot more posts over there, a lot of very animated NFTs and stuff like this. I still think he's on to something. Is this something that I would invest in personally? Probably not. But he is sticking to his guns, sticking to his original vision, sticking to his ethos. You guys know I'm an ethos guy. If I have to continue to say that, it's going to get really boring. But he is kind of sticking with it. And I admire that, regardless of the ups or downs, somebody who's sticking with and going to see it through, something that they truly believe that this is the way forward. I'm all about that, man. You know, if there's nothing else, I hope my tombstone says, "Here lies Scott Pottigill. He's loyal." That's it. That would I'd feel fulfilled with that. Just having that on my tombstone. And say what you want about him. Right, wrong, doesn't really matter. He's loyal. He's loyal to his own vision. And that is so critically important in this day and age of people simply chasing the lights. He's not chasing the lights. He's sticking with what he believes, and I kind of admire it. Belle, I see you filling your vape, but I'm about to flip back to you. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
People know I vape. It's
All
not a
right.
big deal.
Belle, please carry on. I love these Friday streams, by the way. We should do these more.
All right, so new type. Let's do polymarket odds on what the next color bandana will be.
You want to do that, bro?
Oh,
I can see where you're going
easily screw that up.
because I know you're gonna message me and you're gonna say, "Hey Scott, what are you gonna wear, man? Come on, I'll split it with you, dude." I would not.
I will completely screw that up. I'm telling you.
All right. Look, it's. I don't know if you guys can see the studio, but you see where my hand is, and you see how bright my hand shows up depending on the angle. See, these are called key lights. All right, these are key lights all the way around here. These are called key lights, and they blast the shit out of my eyes. They hit me. The reason that I wear the hats and the way that I go on, I'm not trying to be cool, because as Belle will testify that when we're not live or in studio, I tend to not wear hats unless it's a very nice cowboy hat, which I bought down in Tennessee, because deep down I'm a 100% redneck. But when I'm up here, and you guys know that we're live a lot, I wear the hat because it keeps the lights out of my eyes. But I've also noticed the shadows. And when I go to this frame right here, that my face is effectively fully shadowed because these lights are fucking blinding. Blinding. It hurts. It's literally a struggle to read my own teleprompter when I'm on this frame. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to act like I'm hiding my own face or expressions in obscurity. That's not really my thing. If you guys have watched this for any length of time, I think you can agree that we are pretty forthcoming in information and expressions and all that other good stuff. So I'm willing to endure the headache so that you could see every single slight or crooked eyebrow that I might throw out. And in this case, I need a headband or something over a head covering because I do shave my head. I still have hair, believe it or not, but I do shave my head, and it gives me pimples. This thing here for an hour and a half, which tends to be how long we go live, I get pimples because I start sweating. So this is the closest I could come. And I'm sorry if it bothers you or if me changing up how I look is really that intrusive in your life. But this is actually making an accommodation so that you can see my eyebrows and my facial expressions and not be shadowed and not get pimples. All right, it's a thin line that we walk out here. I should play that Kink song, even though that's going to demonetize us. If you don't know the song, it's called Living on Thin Line by the Kinks. which I consider one of the finest rock bands that ever existed, is called the Kinks. So this is my accommodation. But I promise you that this is what you're going to get going forward. I'm not, unless I'm wearing a tie. If I'm wearing a tie, I will just deal with the pimples, because you can't get away with this shit, Belle, wearing a tie. You just can't. All right.
No,
Look,
you can't.
What are you trying to do here, man? You trying to be the macho man? I'm not the macho man. So I'm sorry. I'm doing my very fucking best, new type. And this is what you get. But I appreciate you bringing it up so much, bro. Belle, please carry on. I'm having a great stream.
He did also turn down your offer of telling him what color bandana you're gonna wear, and says, "Okay, I'll be an honest man."
All right, Polly Market.
Yay! Yes. I can totally screw that up.
You're gonna come up with some bizarre color like fuchsia or whatever. You know what? I'll ask a gay guy, what color is this, and he'll know, because I don't fucking know. It's kind of red. No, that is not red. That is mauve. I'm like, what the fuck is mauve? I don't even know what that shit is. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so, and I'm assuming this goes back to your impression of bagpipes.
I nailed
new type. The fuck did I just witness?
I can do bagpipes. All right, I can do. Watch this. You guys ready? I am a little tuned up right now, so give me a break. That's Amazing Grace. That's Amazing Grace on bagpipes. And you know what? Look at this. Everybody loved it, Belle. They loved it. They thought it was great. You hear the people? You hear the audience? That's what you heard. All right? Fuck you. Go ahead. I'm having such a good stream. Go ahead, Belle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love the Friday streams. Every stream should be a Friday stream. You never know what's going to come out of me.
No, absolutely no one in chat says they enjoyed that, by the way.
I killed
Nobody.
It. You know what? They're all wrong,
Killed
Belle.
Something.
They're all wrong. I'm right.
You killed something.
I'm doing this in my PBS voice. They're all wrong, Belle. And I'm right. And now we're going to pause here for a message from Milt's Soda Biscuits. I'm eating one now. And let me tell you, if you're in the market for soda biscuits, Milt's are fantastic. Thank you. Carry on, Belle. That's right. I did it. I did my PBS. Did you guys know that I broadcasted for almost 18 months on PBS? I was one of those guys. I don't know what to tell you, Belle. I got a radio voice. Hate it. Agree with it. Disagree with it. It doesn't matter. I have a radio voice. I'm very good at it. And I broadcasted on PBS for 18 months. And I broadcasted out of Lafayette, Colorado. And if you go back to 1986, 87, 88, you're going to hear me on there. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to give another round of applause. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so regarding the bagpipe playing that you just did, Mackenzie says, tune it up.
You're right, dude. I should tune it up, man. Look, I killed it. Mackenzie will agree. He's high right now, and he's going to say...
He killed something.
He's going to say, fuck, man, that guy nailed it. I did nail it, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much. Belle, go.
All right, so G. Torres, if you're playing the podcast on TV, expect others to ask, what the fuck are you watching? Thank you.
Nothing. You're going to look at this shit, and you're going to say, who's that old guy? That's what you're gonna say. And you know what? I'm actually kind of incentivized by that because it used to be, who's that old fat guy? But I'm not really fat anymore. I've taken care of that. I've dropped 50 pounds. All right, 50 pounds. So you can't say the old. Look at her chugging. You see Belle chugging it. You see her nailing that, knocking that thing back. Yeah, she ain't sober. You can't say the old fat guy anymore. It's just the old guy. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. You can't bust me for it. And I noticed it in the comments, by the way. If you guys really want to have a fun read, go through the podcasts on our channel and look through the comments on our videos. That's where the reality rubber meets the reality road is, right there. And they used to call me the old fat guy, and now they just call me the old guy. I'm okay with that because I'm like, fuck you. I lowered my A1C, you dick. And it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. You're 28. But when you're 48, all of a sudden you're going to be looking at that A1C going, fuck, man, I'm going to die. I had the discipline, bitch, to get myself out of it, and you don't. And you don't. And I really hope you return to this channel at that time so I can say, ha ha, right here, pal. You suck. I don't. Belle, please carry on. God, I love Fridays.
That was that was actually the last one for the moment.
Damn it. Oh my God, we were rolling. Let me see the time. Oh, fuck, it's 7:30. My God, we got out of hand on this one, Belle. I'm sorry. I could go what, we? Oh, there you go. Throw me under the bus, Belle. Appreciate that. That's what everybody does.
All the time.
That's what everybody does to me. It's okay, man. I can handle it.
You do that to me all
Strong
the time.
back. I still exercise. Strong back. I got this. Hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. I may go online tomorrow night because even though I forgot what I was going to talk about tomorrow night, it seemed very important to me at the time. I'm tuned up. All right. The apple juice has hit me pretty well. So even though there was something very specific I wanted to talk about tomorrow night, I'm sure I can fill that hour. So whether Belle is there or not, odds are very, very good that I will be live tomorrow night on Saturday, and I can promise you I'm going to get hammered on that stream. I might play some funny music. I might talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, but something is probably going to happen tomorrow night because I just, you know what, you don't get the opportunity to actually go live that often with people listening to you. That's really where it comes down to. And whether it's one person, 0 people, or 10 people, I don't care. That's enough. And I like to try to entertain. I like to try to inform. I like to try to do all of those things. So I don't know if Belle's availability. If she is, she'll be here. If she isn't, she won't. And you just get to look at my ugly mug and probably listen to more music. But I'll figure that out tomorrow night. Anyway, with that, guys, wonderful time tonight. Great questions. Appreciate you sticking around and listening to the voice of the cosmos. And do you know why I'm the voice of the cosmos, Belle? Do you know why? Really? All the way
Because no
deep
one
down?
else is talking about the cosmos?
Because nobody else is talking to the cosmos. And the fucking crypto renaissance is going to happen out here in the cosmos. It's going to happen on the Jackal chain. And Belle, look at me. Look at your camera directly so I can see your eyes. And Belle, you're welcome. Because even if nobody else believes it, I do. And it's kind of important because I am what you call a force of nature. And I will miracle this fucker over the finish line. Anyway, Belle, please, if you could. Love you, miss you, want you. Talk us up. Take us out. I had a wonderful time tonight.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, we may or may not be on again tomorrow night
I'll
at
be
6
on.
p.m. Central Standard Time. We are for sure going to be back on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So in between now and the next time we go live, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott@thepodcast.com or Bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.